So we were looking at shoes to get her dad for Father's Day because his shoes are worn out. He got the jumper pack, and he kind of needs black kind of shoes for work too, but needs something that's comfortable. So, excuse me, I just had Pan Express. So Big Five has a decent selection. So looked online and Walmart stuff, and they had these Skechers at Big Five, and they were $54. I'm like, oh, all right, we can get those. Um, Big Five closer to me didn't have them, but the farther one where I got my coffee, if you watch my other video, around the corner, said they had a few. So we go in there, and usually I go to one, the other Big Five. This Big Five on Main Street has the worst effing service, and it's a bigger store. So we go in the back and looking around. This guy comes up to us and asks us, "Can I help you?" I was in the shoe department. So I screenshotted the thing and I showed him. I was like, "Do you guys have any of these?" He goes, "Oh, I don't know. I've only been here for 4 days." Like, why the F did you ask me if I need help if you can't help me? Like this. He's like, "Well, if it's not there or not in the rack, it might be in the back," but didn't offer to look in the back. So I was like, okay, thanks. We'll look around, you know. He went away and just didn't offer to look in the back, which is dumb. So we're looking around and it says casual shoes, but in Big Five, there's no casual section for shoes. There's like running, athletic, and so it's like two opposite things, right? They had Skechers, but it wasn't the same name as what showed on the website. And you're looking around like 10, 15 minutes for these shoes, right? Because they're they were all like white shoes and stuff, so that wouldn't have worked. And he found a pair that was close, had a different name, so I said grab those just in case. Looking around, another guy came up and asked us for help. And I said, I showed him a screenshot. It says, "You guys have these in stock." It says there's a few here. Can you check? Oh, well, this guy was just like he was on drugs, dude. Just he was going off and just kept grabbing this box and that box. He's like, let me check, and but didn't ever go in the back. And just simply checked in the back. He must have grabbed like 3 or 4 or 5 pairs of shoe boxes. I don't know what he was doing with them because we asked for one shoe that was black, showed him the name, had the SKU number, everything right. So he just kept coming back and forth, like not even saying excuse me, just walking in front of us and goes, "Let me get this one, let me get this one." He was doing that for like 10 minutes, so I was like, "Oh, forget it." And he came back, he's like, "No, it looks like we don't have it." Bro, all he gotta do is walk in the back, but second time wouldn't offer to walk in the back, right? So we're gonna buy these. And I was like, maybe since we have two phones, I'll open the screenshot. You call the other store. So we called the store that was closer to the one we were going to go to beginning. See if they have it. So we had the SKU number, gave it to her, and she was like, "It looks like we don't have any of those." She was like, "But I can check the other store," which is the one we were literally were like on the phone with her at. And she goes, "Oh, it looks like they have one pair there." I'm like, "Oh, really? One pair?" I'm like, that's weird because they said they didn't have any here and they wouldn't help us to go on the back. And she started laughing. She's like, "Yeah, it looks like they have a pair." I'm like, so we hung up pretty quick and we asked the lady at the front, like, all you gotta do is check it. You don't gotta say all this crap and be weird and annoying and not want to help your customers, right? So with the lady in the front, it's like we just called the other store and they don't have any, but and then we tried to get help in the back with two people and they wouldn't go in the back and help us. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Yeah, but the lady at the other store said he had one pair here." And she goes, the typical thing they say at Walmart. "Well, on the app it's this, and the website doesn't mean to have it, blah, 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 and we might not have it." And I was like, oh my God, here we go again with the non-help. All you gotta do is go in the back and look. If your store says you have it, just double check in the back, and then we'll leave and we'll buy this pair. So I figured she wasn't even gonna check the computer. Then she logs in the computer and she takes my phone for the SKU number. It's like, and she goes, "Hey, it looks like we have some. It says we have one pair board, and we might not have it." I'm like, "Okay, well." And I was gonna say, "Well, can you check the back?" Because I literally told her the other two people are useless. They wouldn't even walk in the back, which is ridiculous. Because the Big Five I go to, I buy the same boots every time, and if they don't have my size, which is 13, on the floor, I ask them, "Hey, can you go in the back and check it?" No problem. They come out with a pair of 13s. And even on the website, they had the steel toe. Um, they had the non-steel toe ones for a certain price. I think it was like $27 or $30. and they were size 13. Well, he didn't have those, but he had the steel toe versions, which are like 10 or 15 bucks more. And he's like, I don't have those, but I have the steel toe ones. And I said, well, those aren't really my budget. And he's like, you know what? Since it says we have them and we don't have them, I'm gonna give you these for the same price. I'm like, oh, that's great customer service. So he gave me like $50 boots for 30 bucks, which is nice. So the other Big Five was nice. These ones were retarded, but back to what I was saying, she checked. She talked to somebody else, and that lady's like, well, she was making excuses. Some other lady came up and she was like, I'll go check. Like, completely nice. And I put that on Google reviews. I said, oh, this lady helped. And she went in the back. I saw her walk to the back. That's all you do in the beginning. You shouldn't take 25 minutes to check for a pair of shoes. She walked in the back and came out with the shoes. There was one pair, and she came out with it. So I don't know why that was so fucking hard and took like 8 people to figure it out, but ridiculous. Like, unbelievable, dude. The new guy didn't even offer help. The second guy was just wandering around, like, wigged out of his mind. At least the lady at the register was somewhat helpful. And she seems like she didn't want to really help, but then she tried to pass on to somebody else or talk to somebody else, then she didn't really want to do it. And then finally somebody stepped up and offered to go in the back and get the shoes. So there wasn't that much of a difference. These shoes were a little more black, which if you're at a job, they look a little more classy and stuff. So. And they were actually cheaper. It said $54.99, and I got out for, I think it was like $52 something with tax, and they were like $48, so they were cheaper too. So Big Five was absolutely ridiculous at the store. Just the worst effing service ever. Like, unbelievable. They have the shoes on the shelf, and then the shoes hanging on the wall. Well, it's crazy. The shoes that you want are called casual, and their size is, say, men's shoes, men's running shoes, men's athletic shoes, nothing casual. So that already makes it a pain. It's like 25 minutes to buy a single pair of shoes. It's ridiculous. Like, my boots, if I don't see them, I ask the guy, and he goes in the back, simple. I don't know why it took like 8 people. I was starting to get mad. Like, my back was hurting. I was hungry. But yeah, that's Big Five shopping for you.